Good evening, and welcome to Lucas Live News. I'm your host, Danielle Williams, and tonight we have a very special guest in the building. Some of you may know her, some of you may not. She's a recipient of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, presented to her by President Barack Obama. She is the founder and executive director of the She Elevates Incorporated, and she's appeared on major TV networks such as Oprah Winfrey and Entertainment Tonight. And tonight she joins us in Lucas Live Media Studios, Miss DeLores Pressley.
Well, thank you for having me. And now I'm on Lucas
Lucas
Live.
Live, we're so excited to have you. We really are. And before we get started, there has been a debate, there has been arguments, and there has almost been wars in my home and in the studio.
All right.
The pronunciation of gala or gala?
So I say gala.
You say gala.
Yes, but I understand they're both correct. But I like when you said gala. So from now
You like
on,
when I said gala?
I'm going to say we're having the She Elevates Gala.
There it is. So anyone at home, let us know in the comments. Do you pronounce it gala or gala? I was talking to a few friends, and they was like, well, the Met Gala, Danielle, the Met Gala. I'm like, well, yeah, but Miss DeLores Pressley said gala, so it must be gala. So it is gala, guys. We're going to say that She Elevates Gala.
No.
Gala. So we're here to talk about the 2023 She Elevates Award Gala. And this event, what inspired it?
It inspired me because I always want to give people their flowers while they're living. I think that so many people are gone. They are out there, they're doing amazing things, they're behind the scenes, but no one knows what they're doing. So I felt that we needed to have a gala that honors women. And this year we're actually honoring a man. It's our first time for honoring a man in his company.
I've seen that. That is beautiful. So She Elevates has been around for a long while now. What about the awards gala? How long has this been around?
This is our fourth gala.
Fourth gala?
Yes. And She Elevates has been around for 5 years.
Beautiful.
5 years.
And in the midst of the last 4 years, how many awards and recipients has there been?
So we have 5 each time.
Okay.
This year it's 6 because we added, I wanted to have the Founders Award. So I have nothing to do with how they're selected. I mean, I know that they go online and someone will nominate them and they tell them, all about them, but I'm not involved in that process.
Okay.
But I wanted to be, I guess, the leader I am.
Oh, gotta have your hand in it somehow, some way, right?
I'm like, I need to come up with, because I know some people I feel should be recognized.
Yes.
So I came up with the Founders Award and talked to the board about it because She Elevates is a nonprofit.
Okay.
So you have an executive board that makes the decisions.
Okay.
And when I went to them with that, they're like, that's good.
Beautiful.
And I know CBA Partners, Dan Dreiling, is going to be the first man ever honored.
Awesome. Congratulations to him.
Yes, Daniel, but he's amazing and he helps so many people. I mean, Coach Sam's in Cleveland, he gives and he gives.
Beautiful.
And not only does he give, but he gets involved. And so I'm just thinking I needed to honor him. And even, for example, he came when he first decided he was going to support us. He came, we did our She Elevates at Stark State at the time.
Okay.
And we were talking about the girls and saying, girl boss, girl boss. And then he said, DeLores, we need an acronym for a boss. And I was like, well, yeah. So we just went back and forth and we came up. So we teach girls to be girl bosses, but it's bringing others success and significance. It's not bossing people around, being in charge, but bringing others success and significance. And that's what our girls do.
I love that. And I did hear you say that you're teaching your girls to be CEOs.
Absolutely.
So bosses, CEOs. I love that. She Elevates sounds like such an empowering organization, especially for the young girls here in this great city of Canton, Ohio. So She Elevates. I know we have a few programs within that, the mentorship program to mention, but you do have girls from all around the nation. Is that right?
Because of COVID. So a lot of times people think something's bad. I want everyone to know that whatever happens bad to you, there's something in there that is good. You might have to look over here, around there. So we had started the academy online. I
Mhm.
mean, for not online, we started it in person at Stark State, as I had
Right.
mentioned, but then COVID hit.
Right.
And I'm like, we can't stop this.
Right.
And so we went online and we had girls. One time we had a girl that was from London, England, who did it at 8 o'clock at night because of the
Wow.
time difference.
Beautiful.
So people in Canton, get with it. If someone's going to
Yes.
join us from
Okay.
London, England.
I love that. I love that. So
Yes.
such a beautiful thing just grew from something that the world kind of seen as like it's shut down. There's no hope. There's nothing else to do. We can't do anything. And you said, no, we're going to find a way to continue to make this thing grow. And we're going to go online. So from going online, how did the program grow? How did the organization grow from going just from in person at Stark State to online and to now?
Yes, we had girls from all over the United States
Yes.
involved. So we did it for 2 years online, and then we
Okay.
did it again online and in person, which was last year.
Okay.
And we thought we would lose our minds because it was just too much
Too
for
much
our
work. Yeah.
team at that.
Right.
So we didn't do it this particular year online, but we came up with the Confidence Club. So we do that the second Saturday of every month, and then girls from all over the United States still join.
Beautiful.
But Danielle, my goal is to see she elevates all over the world. I mean, if you're going to think big. I'm
Right?
thinking like Girl Scouts type of thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, really, no. And it will happen.
I love that.
It's no doubt about it.
I love that. So there's a program that She Elevates does, and it is called She Shadows. And you gave me a little bit of information about that, but can you just briefly just explain to me what that is about? She Shadows.
She Shadows. It's a mentoring experience.
Mm.
I believe that every woman should have a coach, they should have a sponsor, and they should have a mentor.
Yes.
So a coach is someone that kind of just guides you. I think men should have it too, but I'm all about woman power, girl power.
There you go. There you go.
So, but you really should have a coach, someone who's guiding you along. I mean, like Michael Jordan has a coach. People think that I have a coach. I have several coaches.
Right.
Because I think that's so important to have someone guide you along.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then, so a sponsor, it's more like someone who says your name and says amazing things about you, and you're not even in the room. And you're not even in the room. It's more in corporate, but you can have it every day anyway.
Okay.
So I have many, many sponsors. I did. Unfortunately, they've all passed away. I can't hardly believe that. But anyway, my main sponsors are not around, but they spoke my name all the time when I wasn't in the room. Beautiful. And so that's so good. I think everyone should have one of those. And then a mentor guides you. A mentor is someone who's doing maybe what you would like to do. And so you really have to ask them questions. But the thing about mentorship that people lose is that it's for both parties. It's not just, so if you're my mentor, then of course you're going to pour into me,
Right.
but I still should pour into you.
Right.
It's not a one-way thing. So I think every woman should be a mentor, and I think every woman should have a mentor. So we started the She Shadows program. We're all excited about that because girls get a chance and the opportunity to go to people's businesses, spend time with them. Like maybe a girl could come here and see what it's like here. So I got a chance, and this was a long time ago when I think I was in the 5th grade at Lathrop Elementary. It's Compton now.
Okay, yes.
And we went to the Ohio Theater, which is no longer downtown Canton. But it made such an impact on me. I got a chance to meet the owner. They took us to a restaurant called Town and Country, which is no longer around. And my parents didn't know anything about entrepreneurship.
Right.
My dad was get a job at the Timken Company, and that's all he wanted me to do.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not working for Timken.
Do
However, I told that story one day, and someone walked up to me and she says, "Hi, I'm from the Timken Company." Because I was saying, I went to that hot camp with my dad, and I didn't really want to be in there, all of that. But Timken hired me as a speaker. And my dad wasn't alive, but I was like, "Dad, I'm working for Timken."
Yeah.
But that was his mindset. It wasn't, they didn't know about entrepreneurship. So I thought one day in my life, I'm going to come up with something that will help girls and that will teach them how to be leaders, how to be confident, how to be CEOs, and run businesses.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. That is just so needed too. So you've seen a need for it because you didn't have it. And that's sometimes the way that I think too. I didn't have it and I'm learning about it. So now that I know about it, I want to give it to somebody else because it wasn't given to me. I love that. And within the organization, I do know too that You provide these programs for the girls, but you also give them a voice. You give them a voice with something called think tank, right?
Yes. Oh,
So
yes.
tell us about
Yes,
that.
and it's so funny because they're like, "Mrs. Presley, you said," and I'll have to share about, I can't even think of her name right now, but it was a little girl who was selling they had their paintings.
Okay.
Journey is her name.
Oh.
So Journey was selling her paintings, and so were some of the other girls.
Okay.
And then the paintings were like 5 and $10. So one of our team members said, "Well, Journey, I'm buying your painting."
Mm-hmm.
And Journey said, "My painting is $70." And so my team member was like, $70. But I
Mm.
love this because Journey looked at me and she said, "Mrs. Presley, you taught us to know our value and to
Mm.
know our worth." And she said, "You see these little sunflowers? It took me a while to put these. So my painting is $70."
As she should. What a
Yes.
listen. And did she sell it for
She
$70?
did sell it
As
for
she should. You go, Journey. That is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, but if you think about the time that it does take in anything that's creative, anything that's an art, there is time spent, and most people don't see the time spent. So sometimes you don't see the time spent, you don't see the value. But when she stood up for her painting and herself, in a sense, all because of you and the things that you poured
That's
into
sweet.
her. That is beautiful, and she's gonna take that for the rest of her life and know her worth.
Yes.
Not just from a painting, but just I did this. It took me 5 hours. I know my worth. I know my value, and this is how much I'm charging for that. So that is beautiful. I
Yes, we
love that.
must understand our worth. Never let
Mm-hmm.
anyone determine your self worth.
Yes.
You are worthy. You
Yes.
are worthy no matter what people say to you. And problem with women is that sometimes we don't feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine a whole world of girls and
Mm.
women who truly believe in their abilities,
Yes. Mm.
truly believe that they can do things. And that's what our girls do. And
That's
I
beautiful.
know that it comes from the Lord because we transform girls. You can't get transformation with just maybe a week being with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And even Miss Vicky, who is my assistant and travels with me and everything, she said a dad brought his little girl into the academy
Okay.
and said, "She's never going to talk. Don't talk to her. Just leave her alone." When he came to pick
Mm-hmm.
her up, she was up on stage talking and singing that same day.
Wow.
Yes. And we had another little girl who has Tourette's who really, she didn't say much.
Yeah.
And then we took a trip to Kent State because we try to open the girls, we take them field experiences. She was singing on the bus.
That's
She
beautiful.
was singing on the bus. And so I get God bumps.
Yes, yeah,
Just
man, me
thinking about
too. Because I'm thinking, like, sometimes all it takes is somebody to inspire something in us, or even to just unveil something about ourselves. And we're like, you know what? That is right. And like you said, as women, it's easy for us to compete. It's easy for us to not see our worth. And it's easy for us to just feel like we're not good enough for something. And when you have strong mentors and women in your life that force you in a way to like, no, you are
Mhm.
all of that in a bag of chips, like
Absolutely.
you are that. And just to inspire them and show them that, hey, you can do this. It's that is beautiful. And I've seen it done too. I used to coach a high school around the city, and there was a girl too that was very, very shy and very, to herself. In that cheer camp, she too got on the microphone and started singing, and the whole team was like, "You can sing."
Mhm.
But it was just from just interactions and just from us uplifting one another and being so welcoming with each other on that team. And it does a lot for our girls. I love that. I love that. So with these girls, I know that it's important for them to see their worth and their value. And there's something that you do that I think is so cool and so needed, because sometimes it's hard for us to say, I love you to ourselves. I love you to ourselves. I love you. I love this about you. I love that about you. And say it to ourselves. Even as grown women, some of us struggle with just loving ourselves and loving ourselves out loud. It's easy for us maybe at home, I love myself, but to go out into the world and say, I love myself out loud, and be sure of it. There's something that you do that I find so inspiring.
We
And that,
do it.
yes,
Write a love letter
write a
to
love letter to
yourself.
yourself.
And the girls write love letters to themselves. And it's funny when we start off, they're kind of like, I can't. And then as the week progresses, they write these love letters. And Khadijah, one of our students,
Mm-hmm.
she stood up and she said, I love myself so much I can squeeze my guts out.
Oh, she meant that.
She meant it. She meant that. And then when other students hear that, then that it just like it's a snowball.
Uh-huh.
So we must learn to love on ourselves. I say elevate as you climb.
Yes.
In other words, I'm saying take someone with you.
Mm-hmm.
Elevate. Don't
Mm-hmm.
It's enough in this world for all of us. I
Yes.
don't understand why people can be catty and be I'm so happy when I see your success. When I
Right.
see you're doing things,
Yes.
it does not make sense
Yes.
because there's enough in this world for
Right.
all of
For
us.
all of us.
Yes.
True. And another thing with that is, some kids they I said at the women's tea party, I practiced being the woman that I was because I seen the vision. I just knew it wasn't gonna take me a day to get there, so I had to practice. And that was just the word that I used was I'm gonna practice being like this. And as kids, sometimes we can just intimidate or copy someone and do something someone else does, but you're practicing being a certain way. If someone says, I love myself, and you might not even know what that means, but I love myself too, because you see someone else doing it, that's okay too,
It
right?
is.
I
It
mean,
is.
that's okay too, because it's like one day you will get it. One day it will click. It might not click today, but because someone else is doing it, you stand in agreement with her, what she says, and you love yourself too. So I love that. How does it make you feel when you're up there and you're listening to these love letters? It was your idea to have them write letters to themselves. How do you feel hearing what they say about themselves?
It does. First of all, the work that we do, and I have an amazing team, and I thank my team for helping. We have
Mm-hmm.
a new president, Adrian Chavers, and just I don't want
Love
to start
her.
listing their names out, but I want them to know that I truly, truly appreciate them, and I
Mm-hmm.
could not do this without them.
Yes.
But when you love on yourself,
Mm.
when you truly love on yourself, and I work with women, I coach a lot of women, and they deal with something called imposter syndrome. And that imposter syndrome, I've had it. I mean, my whole life, people told me I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
When I wanted to be a ballerina 100 years ago, they said
Mm-hmm.
no. They said, you're too fat. They wouldn't let my mother sign me up. When I
Oh my
wanted to go to
goodness.
college, my college counselor said, DeLores, you're not college material. Now, I did go to Timken and it was a vocational high school, so I'll give her that because they were
Oh.
trade. But when someone tells me I can't, you can count it being done. It's
Right.
just like,
Okay.
it's
Right.
not. So my
Right.
whole life, I wanted to start a modeling agency for plus size women. And this was like 30 something years ago. So people had not even heard of that.
Right.
And of course, I started my own modeling agency. It
Mm-hmm.
was tough. And
Mm-hmm.
starting this nonprofit, it is not an easy job. We work a lot on that,
Yes.
but we definitely love on ourselves
Yes.
and we teach women to love on
I
themselves.
love that. I
Mm.
love that. Your story is just so inspiring because
Thank
just
you.
all of the you can'ts and you're not good enough and you turned around and said, she elevates. I'm gonna make an organization and tell girls that they are good enough and they can do it. And I'm gonna turn you into bosses and CEOs.
That's right. Danielle, guess I did take ballet, girl.
I know that's right. You should have.
But guess how old I was?
How old were you?
60. I was
Really?
60 years old when I took, and I'm getting God bumps now because people had said I couldn't do it. And as my life went on, I didn't have time to do it or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I turned 60, I said, I'm taking ballet.
Yes.
And I went in there with reed thin girls, young women. They had to take my leg and lift it
That's
up on the
beautiful,
pole
though.
because I couldn't do
That
it.
is just beautiful.
But I did it.
Yes.
I want people to know that dreams do not come with age
Nope.
limits.
Nope.
It does not. So when a woman or a man are coming to me and say I'm too old, that's not true.
Nope.
That is not true. Just say DeLores took ballet at 60.
I've been believing that like age is a mindset. Like
For sure.
I've really been in this thing of like age is a mindset. You are as old as you believe that you are. So I agree, and I commend you, and I'm glad that you went and took ballet classes. If you have any recitals, invite me because I want to come and support.
I don't think that's going to happen,
Yeah,
but I understand and I appreciate that.
Yes,
And
yes.
speaking of support, I wanted to tell you that you did such an amazing job at the tea party this past Sunday.
Thank you.
And I know you said you're kind of new at things, but I see so many great things happening for you too. I see a little DeLores Pressley over there, just like on TV and doing all these things. Yeah, it's
Thank
I want to
you.
commend you. That's what we have to do.
Thank
Support one
you.
another.
Yes.
What is that when
Yes.
people don't want to?
And
Okay, don't get me
yes, and
started
no,
on that.
shout out to Alexa Young because
Yes.
her too, I loved having her on the show, and I love some of the things that she said at the event. And just one thing in particular of she had 3 ladies that did balloon arches come to her event and set up balloons. And she said that she worked with some makeup artists in the city because, she feels like she can learn from someone or she can knock out more faces or whatever the
Hmm.
case is. And her thing, she really stands on working with other women and bringing women with the same profession in the same room and saying, let's build a dream, let's build an empire. And she is so, she's so she means it with all of her heart. There's not a like a there's nothing fake about it. And I think that is so beautiful for I know I'm on my way to 29, so I keep saying that, oh, she's so young, but I know I'm young too. But it's so beautiful seeing someone younger than myself, have that vision and that mindset because at her age and girls that I've seen younger than me, they don't have that mindset. It is a competitive mindset of I'm doing it or someone else is doing it and they shouldn't be doing it because just all the cattiness that we have amongst our women and our girls and to see someone bringing us together in the way that she did at that event, it was just beautiful and like it's like one of them things you had to be there. You had to
Yes,
be there and feel it. We had some really women in the crowd. Sierra Mason, she was so touched and so moved. And I said up there on the mic was, I was that girl. I was that girl. I had been put into rooms that I didn't think I was ready for. I didn't think I fit in. But in my mind, I wanted to be in that space because for my growth and my elevation, I had to be around women that I aspired to be. So she was so emotional um, towards the end of
yes,
the event. But I felt where she was coming from. I felt the compassion and the passion that she had because I'm like, girl, you're getting ready to grow.
she
You're
is.
getting ready to evolve. You're
She
getting ready
is.
to blossom. You're where you're supposed to be. And it was so beautiful seeing you in there too. I was like, oh, Dolores is here. You didn't say she was coming. I didn't know you were coming. So that was beautiful seeing you in there too. And I know you mentioned that you were one of the oldest in there, but it didn't matter. Having you in there too with us, um, that was a great feeling too.
It was
That was a
great.
great feeling. It was it,
Thank
it
you.
was it was a good feeling,
It
that the
was.
whole vibe of that event was beautiful. So I do want to kind of get into some of the award recipients.
Mhm.
And do you know them personally? I know we know Miss Betty Smith. She's one of the recipients for the Community Elevates Award. And here they are. And can you talk to us about some of the recipients and then what it takes to, win some of these awards?
So the community, everyone knows Miss.
Everyone knows Miss Betty Smith.
Yes, and she was so humble with receiving it. So again, I don't really have anything to do with that other than the Founders Award. But
Okay.
I do know that a person has to have done a lot in their community
Mhm.
to get that award. And now Stacy, I don't even know. I don't even know Stacy. But the
Wow.
team said she is amazing. I think she's dealt with breast cancer, but
Okay.
she helps women all over the nation as well. Now, the
Beautiful.
little girls I know
Yes.
because they have been in the She Elevates program.
Okay.
And Michaela, again, she lives in Toledo.
Oh,
She does not. So
wow.
she was a young lady we met online,
Okay.
and she has an amazing business. She's, my goodness, she's just, and the thing that's funny with me is that these girls grow up because I was looking at some
They
of our
do.
girls going to homecoming
Oh,
this
yes.
weekend. I'm
Yes.
like, what?
Homecoming. You
Our
were
little
just
girls just in
yes.
that's the funny thing. But yes, she has Debbie's treasure chest. She does really well. And then Chloe Williams,
I've
she's
heard
a
of her.
doll baby.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She is, and she's in all kinds of pageants and things. She just
Oh,
got back from
man.
Florida, and she, again, we taught her how to speak from the diaphragm. I have a story where Chris Gardner from The Pursuit of Happiness, who played Will Smith,
Uh-huh.
Will Smith played his part, but he was in my school,
Oh,
and he had
wow.
a chance to talk to my students. And he said, well, what does Mrs. Presley teach you? And one little girl said, Mrs. Presley said, always speak from your diagram. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that Mrs. Presley is great."
Yeah.
But you know what? And then when I thinking about how Chris Gardner was in my classroom and how I've spent time with Oprah, I want to make sure that people know that those are just people. They
Right.
might have more money than us, more
Right.
opportunities, but never put anyone on a pedestal. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to really get off on that right now, but I just want people to know
Mm-hmm.
that they're just people.
People.
And God has placed me in these places so that I can share and
Mm-hmm.
give to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'm forgetting one of the people. Oh yeah, Miss
Brooke.
Brooke
Yes.
Harless, and she's going through a lot right now. Her husband is very very ill, but she
Okay.
says she's going to be there. But
Okay.
she does a lot in the community too. So people
Beautiful.
who are up here, they've done some amazing things.
I can't wait to, because Lucas Live will be in attendance at the
Yay!
gala.
Yay!
So we're excited to come and work. We're also excited to be, in the presence of some of these recipients and kind of hear their stories. And so one of the fun things that we'll get to do at the gala is interview some of your recipients and kind of just hear, what it's like and just their thoughts of winning and what they kind of do in the community. So be looking for that. So our audience, look for that because that's going to
Yay!
be really nice. So when I did see before the gala was presented, I did see how you could how you could vote for these award recipients. So can you walk us through the how do you nominate someone?
So
Because I seen there was like a big chunk of things you had to do to
yes,
nominate someone.
yes,
You had to
and
really
so
tell some background story
yes, you
history.
did. You have to tell background and you have to know the person. And some people, I think, they were telling me that maybe they could have won, but the people who nominated them didn't know a lot about them. So
Okay.
most people don't nominate themselves. So
Okay.
if you're going to nominate someone, I think you should call them and
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Hey, Danielle, I'm going to nominate you. What should I say about
Mm.
you and what have you done?"
Yeah.
So I think that because I know that some of the women in there were like, but they didn't really
Yeah.
tell all the
Yeah.
things that they do.
So that's something to note. So,
Yes, for the
and
future.
sometimes people maybe want it to be like a surprise or like
Yes.
anonymous that
Hmm.
they're nominating someone. But that is something to note that when you want to win or nominate someone for a prestigious award like this, call them and get some information about them so
Yes.
you can, properly do that.
Yes. For
So
this
that
award, they should do that,
yeah,
I think.
well, we're gonna note that, okay? So I want to have some fun with the audience real quick. So let's go back to the love letters, and from the girls and what they do within the program. But to our audience, there's something that you wanted to do and kind of push for those watching. We wanted to have our audience write love letters and submit them to your email. And what could happen if we have some love letters that you actually like? What
So
could
my
happen?
goal is to publish a book
Publish a
of love
book.
letters to myself. Love letters to me. I don't have the
Yeah.
exact title for it yet,
Okay.
but we're definitely going to publish a book and we
Okay.
would like to hear their love letters. But
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is so powerful. If
Mhm.
people, I just wonder how many people in this audience has written a love letter to themselves.
Right. So
Probably not a whole lot,
probably not all of them, so,
but I'm
or
sure some
any of
have.
them. Some
Well,
of them
I'm
may
sure
have.
some
Some of them may
have.
have. But that is something that you just don't see often. You just don't see people giving themselves positive affirmations. It's something that's becoming a little more popular. But to write a love letter, we can write a letter to our boyfriends, our moms, our husbands, all that.
Yes.
But when it comes time to say, I love you, myself, we don't do that. So it's a fun challenge to get to our
Yes,
audience
yes.
to
So
think and do something
start
different.
writing those love letters
Yes.
to yourself and
Okay.
submit them to us. They can
Yes.
send it to info@sheelevates.org
There we go.
and we may select their letter to be in. Now there's no funding or anything like that. You won't be
Mhm.
paid for your
Right.
publish, but you'll be a published author.
There you
You'll be
go.
if you
Right.
get selected
Yeah.
for the book.
Beautiful.
Yes, and we want girls to do it as well.
Yes.
Maybe a mom might want to write a love letter to her daughter. And
Yes.
now that I'm thinking, maybe a mom might want to write a love letter to her mom because we must love on ourselves.
Yes.
I know I sound like a broken record, but if you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard
Mhm.
to love someone else.
Mhm.
And then treat yourself. We teach people how to treat us.
Yes.
People are saying to me, "DeLores, I can't believe he did that or she did." I'm like, because you allowed it.
Mhm.
You have taught
Mm.
that person how to treat you.
Yes.
So teach that person to treat you well,
Right.
with
Treat 'em.
respect,
Yes.
and with love, and with the worth you deserve.
Yeah. Girls are going to really be moved and empowered. I know in the years to come, just from coming out of um, the She Elevates Academy. And to anyone out there that's wondering how they can get involved, what are the age limits in that bracket for anyone that wants to sign up and be a part of this organization?
So we start off from ages 8 to 14.
Okay.
But if they come through our program, they can continue with us until age 21 through
Okay.
the mentoring program. So they
Okay.
can have a mentor up to age 21. And
Mm-hmm.
so this year was the first time we started bringing girls back as they're getting older. So they came to the academy and they spoke to other girls and they helped girls. So
Okay.
that's what I want them always giving back, because
Yes.
that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Give back. There is a quote by Chuck Palahniuk. He says, and it's kind of maybe a weird quote, but
Okay.
I like
I
it.
like weird.
Okay. It says, "We all die. The goal is not to live forever, but to create something that will."
Mm.
So I believe that She Elevates is something that will last long past DeLores.
Yes.
These girls will grow up, they'll teach their daughters to be
Yes.
respectful. They won't let boys or men talk to them any kind of way because
Mm-hmm.
they know their worth.
Yes.
And that's what I just, all this hard work I do, I'm like, okay, DeLores, it's worth it.
It will be, and it will be.
Yes.
And I also think that I want to give Miss Betty Smith her flowers too, because I've just, when I ride past it and I look at it and I think, I'm like, this is something that we're gonna have forever.
Yes.
I hope that
Oh,
the
yes.
enrichment program is something that we have forever, even when we do end up losing some of our founders. Like, this is a program that she has embedded into the community. That she has had so many volunteers and workers come and be a part of it. I see her, one of her band directors, when that band comes in and he's like on it. He's like, "Don't talk to me. I'm directing my band." I'm like, someone that is that passionate about someone else's work is like,
Miss Betty is a gift to
She
our
is.
community. It's
She
no doubt
is.
about that.
She
I always tell her I
is.
want to be like her when I grow up all the
It's
time because she's
beautiful. I
amazing.
remember working with her and she was doing Canton Idol. And not many people know this, but I sang on her show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
So do you sing now, Danielle?
Not much. Not on Lucas Live Media right now either. Not at all. But you know what? There is a lady that we've been working with named Joy Ellis, and she doesn't know this yet. She was at the tea party as well.
Oh, yes.
I was like, and what you said, I took ballet lessons. I want to go and take some singing classes. And I also wanted to, I found out that my grandfather used to play the guitar. So I have 2 guitars at home that my uncle gifted to me that were his. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play these guitars, and I'm going to go back and get singing lessons. And then one day I might be making covers and playing my guitar and singing a little bit. Singing a little bit. So the awards gala, this is October 6th.
Coming up really soon, and the deadline to get tickets is the 29th of September. So they need to really get going and get moving on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we're so excited about it.
And where is this going to be at?
The Doubletree by Hilton, downtown Canton.
They've been hosting so many events. They've been doing a great job. Is this your first event down at the Doubletree?
It is.
You're going to love it. They've been doing great. So shout out to the Doubletree. Have you seen the venue? I'm sure you have.
Oh, of course. Yes,
beautiful.
Yes.
It
It's
is beautiful.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an experience. That's what I like. I don't like I'm just not a mundane every day. I don't know where my mother's like, where'd you come from? You know, but I just want things to be an experience.
Yes.
So when you come to the gala, it's going to be an experience. And we have Courtney Gooseman. She was on Channel 5. She's no longer on there right now, but she's going to do a little speech for us and she's going to host it. It's going to be, and then we're going to have singing from, Joy just did a contest, right? And so I can't even think of his name, but
I know who you're talking about.
Whoever won. Forgive me for not knowing his name. It starts with a D or something.
It does. It does. We're gonna get it real soon here. But he is amazing, and I didn't realize. I had a friend that I grew up with in my old neighborhood. She kept posting him and posting. I was like, that your brother?
Mhm.
She was like, yeah. I'm like, this whole time, that's your brother. And he has sang on the national anthem at some of the McKinley games. And let me tell you,
So talented.
when he comes in that room and sings for your audience, they are going to be blown away. And I'm sure that boy will not be around here for too long. Dejan Dickerson.
Okay, I'm
Dejan
glad we came up with
Dickerson. Yeah,
Dejan. Hey,
Dejan
Dejan, we
Dickerson.
love
There,
you. You
yes,
know Miss
yes,
Dolores loves you.
yes.
Just couldn't think of
We can't
your name,
wait.
but he will be entertainment there. It's
Beautiful. They
yeah,
are
it's
gonna
going to be
love that.
so
You picked a
amazing.
really, yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be an experience.
beautiful. So a little birdie told me that we possibly are giving away a free ticket tonight too.
That would be awesome.
Oh yes.
So tell us how we can do that. We
All
want to
right,
give away a ticket
all right.
to the gala.
Oh, so we're gonna give away a ticket to the gala to the person that has been in the comments, liking, commenting, and engaging with this show tonight. So if you're on right now, make sure you're liking, you're sharing the video, you're sending some comments in the video, and let's give us like 2 days, and we will be announcing the winner of that. So make sure you guys are staying engaged, liking, commenting, doing all that you need to do to win a free ticket to the 2023 She Elevates Awards Gala.
It's going to be amazing. Also, Jess Black is going to be our DJ.
Oh.
And then when the gala is over, we're going to have a little after
I
party.
did see that.
So people can just cut a rug and
yeah.
just, yes,
Oh, I
have a good
cannot
time.
wait. Oh, I love that. I love
An
that.
experience. That's
I
what I'm
love
talking
that.
about. Yes.
So before we go, is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as the gala, She Elevates, anything that you just want to touch on before we go?
Yes. First of all, we want you to get there.
Please
Just
get there.
Yes. Get a ticket. If you can't get yourself come, then get a ticket for someone else.
There you go.
Or make a donation because, of course, nonprofits are
Yes.
all built on donations.
Right.
We want women to get involved. We need volunteers. We need people who love children. And Alexa actually volunteered this year at our academy.
Awesome.
She did. And Joy doesn't know that I'm going to be bringing my 4-year-old, she'll be great granddaughter,
Okay.
to her for singing because she can sing.
Oh
I
my
mean, even at
goodness.
like 2, she
I
could
love
really.
hearing the baby sing.
Oh my goodness, she can go octaves and everything. But I was trying to wait till
4?
she's just turning 4. She's for the 28th of this month.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so Joy, she's got new talent with you,
Yes.
and new talent with my
right. Yeah, she doesn't even know it, but we're coming.
But we want women that want to see girls just get better, to live life, the life that they dream about.
Yeah.
And most of our girls come from the low to moderate income. We have millionaire girls in there as well.
Oh,
we have such diversity.
Yes.
But they need you.
Yes.
They need you. I don't know if I can see in that camera or whatever, but they need you. We need good volunteers that can go on our website if they want to be mentors, and they can fill in the application. Of course, we do background checks and things like that if they're working with the girls, but that is needed. Volunteers, people on our advisory council.
Yes.
We need help because my dream is so big.
Big, right. And you're looking for quality women and just volunteers and mentors and helpers of the community to come and help fulfill that. That's beautiful.
Yes.
That is. So anyone out there that has not gotten their ticket, where can they get their ticket?
They can go to Eventbrite and they can just search She Elevates.
Beautiful.
Or they can go to our website.
Beautiful.
And they can order it there, or they can just mail us a check if they want to do that. But they have to do that really soon before the 29th and mail it to our office at 901 Tuscarawas Street East in Canton, Ohio, 44707.
Beautiful. So, Miss Dolores, before we go, is there anything that you want our viewers, our audience, anyone out there to know about you? Because you're such a woman of such prestige, so many honors. I mean, your resume and biography is long, and there's so many accomplishments that you've made. What's one thing that you want people out there just to know about Delores?
That Delores is just a real girl.
A real girl.
She is. It's so funny because I'll have people and I'll meet them and they were like, "Oh, I'm so nervous about meeting you." And these people are like executives, and I'm like, "What is that?" because I'm just a real person.
Yeah.
And I'll share a quick story. I met Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yes, and it was many, many years ago. And he wrote his cell phone number down on a card and
Okay.
he said, "Call me." And I didn't call him because for some reason I had put Jack Canfield on this pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Do not put anyone on a pedestal.
Right. Right.
You are valuable. I know I keep saying it, but listen, and then people don't want to approach me because I'm just a real girl.
Right.
I laugh, I cry. I'm
Right.
human.
Right.
But God has elevated me to help others.
Beautiful.
And so that's what I want to say. Just go out there and elevate others.
I
Help
love that.
others.
We were in the studio and Mr. Lucas asked me, he said, "So you're going to do Miss DeLores' interview, your live interview?" I said, "Just me?" He said, "Yeah, just you. And I'm going to be working the background stuff." I'm like, "So you're just going to sit here and tell me that Miss DeLores has been on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Entertainment Tonight. She's received a presidential award from Barack Obama, and you want me?" He said, "You're going to do great. You got this. You're good." And I think I told you that on the phone too. I was like, I was, I guess in a sense, nervous to do the interview, but to agree with what you just said, your vibe and who you are is so genuine. And so people out there that just see your list of accomplishments, it could be a little overwhelming to approach you. But I want to tell them too that just sitting with you has been inspiring. A woman like myself, it's been
Thank you.
inspiring. There's so many things that I see in you that I'm like, I just want to be around her. So I can attest to what you've said. You're just a real down to earth woman, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you, meeting you, being around you. It's so funny we were together this Sunday, and now we're here talking on the phone. So I do hope and see that we may have a relationship here in the future.
Yes. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Asking is a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. People think that. I met Zig Ziglar, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
He is the ultimate. He was the ultimate speaker. And when I met him, I walked up to him. I was not afraid to ask him, would he coach me?
Okay.
He said no.
Oh.
However, he said, when I finish talking to all these people that's in line, I want to spend some time with you. I spent an hour and a half in a room with myself,
Wow.
Zig Ziglar, teaching me how to be the ultimate motivational speaker.
That's beautiful.
So that right there should tell you, don't be afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid to ask.
And the worst I can say is no, but then, it might be no for a reason because I got to go and do this. Give me a second.
Yes.
No for right now,
Yes.
but not no in, forever.
If you don't ask, it's a no.
Right. Exactly. Right. So you never know. Well, Miss DeLores, it was just a pleasure having you here at Lucas Live Media Studios. We were so excited to have you here, and I think I can speak for both of us. It's been an honor to sit in this room and just kind of hear some of the things that you have done. We're excited to be at the awards gala. We cannot wait to come and set up shop and interview some of these beautiful recipients and get to talk to them and meet them and just see where their journey from the awards gala will lead them. So I appreciate your time so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my
Guys,
pleasure.
make sure you like, comment, share so we can get this free ticket in your hands. And thanks again for joining us at Lucas Live News.